Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are tracking more winter weather across the U.S. You know, we've got that snow on the ground right now, but we're still feeling the impacts of it. Over 500,000, 500,000 here, still without power. And most of those are coming from places like Mississippi and Tennessee, which got hit hardest by the ice. Now, we've got a little bit of a warm-up. I think that's what a lot of people are asking about is when is the warm-up coming? When will all of this melt off the roadways? When can I get back out and enjoy my daily activities? Well, we've got a small warm-up coming, but then temperatures, they plunge right back down. So what is it going to look like as we head into the rest of January and early February? We'll take a look at that for you. Over the last 48 hours, we did have some severe weather. I know a lot of people have been talking about the snow. However, we did have tornadoes. Did you guys know that? On Sunday afternoon between about 12 and 3 o'clock Central Time between Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia and Florida, we had a squall line come through. So this is on the warm side of this big winter system. Several tornadoes were reported in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. I think we had at least 3 in total. You can see all of those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings highlighted there in red. Oh, I think we have a reported tornado in Montgomery, Alabama. So that is brand new information that we did not share with you yesterday. Other than that, this was a big wind event, as you can see by all of those wind reports right there. And then we, of course, had the snow and the ice that tracked farther up to the north into our New England states and then across the East Coast. They're still dealing with a little bit of lingering snow today. But other than that, it's pretty dry across the U.S. today. Let's go ahead and fast forward and take a look at those tornadoes. We have the tracks mapped, the path of the tornadoes mapped at HailTrace.com. You can see that highlighted there in red. We have at least 3, but we may have a 4th one on there by now. The highest rated tornado that we saw on Sunday was an EF1. So they weren't major tornadoes, but still pretty impressive to, of course, be dealing with this record snow. And then we've got tornadoes on top of that. So what are we dealing with right now? As I mentioned earlier, it's pretty quiet across the U.S. We've got a few lingering snow showers across our northeast, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet, right? We've got a cold front moving through, so while we're trying our best to warm up with sunny skies today, I just don't think it's going to be good enough. We're going to see a little bit of melting today, refreezing overnight tonight, melting again tomorrow afternoon, refreezing once again. So we're going to do this kind of back and forth thing that is going to keep all of this snow on the ground. And you can actually see this snow from space. So do you see these white things right here that are moving? Those are clouds. Do you see the white things right here that are not moving, that kind of look like clouds, but they're stationary? That's the snowpack. And you can see that from satellite here. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures. It's still below freezing for most of the U.S. I told you that Oklahoma has officially spent 100 hours below freezing, 100 consecutive hours below freezing. 25 in KC right now, 4 degrees in Minneapolis, 17 in Fort Wayne, and 22 degrees in Charleston. Now it's dry. You know, it's cold, but at least we're not getting any more snow today. All of that thanks to a high pressure system. Keeping it pretty dry right now. Got a low pressure system that's going to move through later on this week. You can see that highlighted there by our L, low pressure system, pretty self-explanatory, later on this week, Wednesday into Thursday, and that'll be our next cold plunge. You're going to see those temperatures dip back down. And all of this cold weather is keeping our severe weather out of our way as well. We could see just a few storms off on the west coast today. Other than that, you know, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder, a little bit of rain. That is it. That's all that we're getting. So we're going to return to that question. When will all of this melt? Well, for some of us, it's going to stick around for up to 7 days. So some of us are going to see most of that snow melt off today. We're already above freezing in places like central southern Texas, so you're going to see some significant melting today. Other places are going to keep that snowpack around for at least 1 more day, if not up to the next week. And that'll be places that are farther to the north, like northern Oklahoma, Kansas City, St. Louis, Tennessee. You still have snow on your roofs right now, and you're probably going to continue to have snow on your roofs for quite some time. One thing that we do have to talk about in addition to the black ice, so we've of course got that melting snow turning into water, refreezing overnight. There's your ice. but we also have some fog moving in, and as it hits on contact to a hard surface, whether that's a stop sign, maybe a tree branch, or of course the road, it's going to freeze immediately, and that's also going to cause some very sneaky black ice. And so where we're seeing that is mainly in the southern portion of Oklahoma, northern portion of Texas, so keep an eye on that in Dallas tomorrow. Early in the morning, especially if you're an early commuter, you could be dealing with black ice even on those roads that look dry. Keep an eye out for freezing fog. Right through the central portion of Arkansas and then into the western portions of Tennessee and northern Mississippi. So again, black ice early tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at your timings here for freezing fog. Mainly in the morning hours, that's whenever we're going to see the better chances. We're talking right around your morning commute. However, as we head later on into the mid-morning hours, we're going to see that freezing fog start to clear off. So not only is it going to reduce your visibility, like what you can see behind me, it's going to give that very foggy appearance. You know what that looks like. But of course, it's going to freeze to your surfaces as well. You could also see rime ice with freezing fog, which is a really cool phenomenon. Basically what that means is it freezes to a surface, let's say a tree branch, and it starts to make those crystally almost, it's icy, but it's like a white ice looking very pretty phenomenon on your tree branches. But we'll move on here. Let's go ahead and talk about your temperatures, because I talked about a little bit of a warm up and then a cool down again. So let's take a look at that. 19 degrees by this evening in Oklahoma City, but we're just above freezing in Dallas. So we're going to see some melting in our southern states. 16 degrees in Kansas City this afternoon. We've got 17 in St. Louis. A lot of us will not warm above freezing today. Can we see it tomorrow? Just barely. It looks like temperatures are gunning for the 30s in Oklahoma City for tomorrow. We're also trying to reach the 30s in places farther down to the south like Memphis as well, but we're still staying below freezing farther up to the north in KC and in St. Louis. Moving on to Thursday here, again, we're going to go up and down with these temperatures where we're trying to reach that 32-degree point, but by Friday, we do not have a shot. We go right back down to the teens on Friday, especially through the afternoon hours, and it does look like we stay cold, especially through the Midwest and then all the way down to northeastern Oklahoma, northern portion of Arkansas, and then a lot of our Midwestern states as far south as Tennessee. Right now, we can take a look at our watches and warnings. We still have a cold weather advisory in place, highlighted in white, and an extreme cold warning in blue. This is a significant improvement compared to what we saw this time yesterday. So you can see we've seen a little bit of a warm up out there. Farther down to the south, Florida is trying to take part in that cold weather. We have a freeze warning in place, highlighted in purple, and then we have a freeze watch in turquoise color as well. Alrighty. What about your wind gusts? Well, it's not too terribly windy out there, but you're still going to feel a little bit of a wind chill every now and then. Thankfully, this snow is hitting the areas that probably need it the most. I know this is really annoying, but the ground is slowly absorbing that water. This is the best thing for the ground right now, and this is going to mitigate our fire conditions later on this year. So this is a really good thing that'll help us in the future. Forecasted dew points, yeah, it's still staying pretty dry out there. We're going to see a little bit of moisture try to move into some of our southern states. You can kind of already see that there in dark brown, but it's winter. What do you expect? It's still going to be dry. We stay through a dry patch all the way through the end of this week. So all the way through the end of January, we're not expecting significant accumulation in terms of snow, rain, or ice for most of the U.S. Where the exceptions are farther up to the north, where we will see more snow incoming later on this week, and then out to the east, where they could get more ice even in this area. So we're watching these areas for not only freezing rain, but also snow. And you can see some of our snow accumulations here. I'm not too terribly concerned with some of these accumulations farther up to the north. They don't look too impressive, and we're used to it up in these states. The only place that I'm really watching for significant winter weather are going to be out in the Carolinas, specifically North Carolina and even into the Virginias. As we head into the end of this week, you can see that we've got some really impressive snowfall accumulations in this area, and you can get some ice in this area as well. Some models want to bring just a little bit of winter weather right through our central states. Yeah, we're still keeping an eye on places like Oklahoma, Tulsa, maybe even Little Rock and Fayetteville for a little bit of freezing rain. Right now, I just don't think that we have the moisture for that. So don't go home and say, school's going to be closed again because of the next incoming winter weather system. That's not what I'm talking about here. Models are trying to do something, but we're not quite sure what it is yet. My thought is it may be too dry to get that all the way to the surface. So it's something that we're monitoring, but not something that we are locking in at the moment. Just keep an eye on that as we head into the later portion of this week, and then we can see some snow in this area by early this weekend. There's all of your snow out in the Carolinas and Virginias. That is what we're watching for this weekend. That could bring some significant travel impacts and significant snowfall to places that don't often get that snow. A lot of moisture in this area, not as much in the central portion of the country. There you go, there's your forecast. When will it finally warm back up? Well, I guess it depends on your definition of warm, because climatologically, we will be below average, colder than normal for a good portion of this week. We try to warm back up tomorrow. That warm air does not stick around for very long. We are right back below average, colder than normal as we head into the end of this week and through this weekend as well. We finally try to warm up as we head into the end of this weekend. And hey, that brings us into February. So let's take a look at February 1st through the 5th here. It does look like that warmer air is trying to work its way in from the west. You can see that we've got a very nice warm start to February on our western states, but then we're still very cold across our eastern states. And we're very dry as well. So even if we get that warmer weather in here, could we see severe weather? It's going to be a pretty low risk for severe weather. And I think that that's our big headlines today. Before I hop off of here, I do want to remind everyone that we have a Thunder game tonight. We are giving away tickets for that Thunder game. So I think that John's going to pop that code on the screen there. So here's how you win tickets. Scan this QR code. And after this forecast is over, we're going to go back and we're going to put the link in the comments as well. Oh, you see that right there? Did you see it flash? That means that someone scanned it. Okay, more people. Scan this QR code. You could win Thunder tickets tonight. We have club level seats. We are so excited to give away tickets to someone who will win our trivia. Another scan. Awesome. We're going to hold this on the screen for just another second. So what you see whenever you scan this QR code is HailTrace trivia. You're going to see this a lot more over the next few weeks. We're going to be doing trivia in a lot of different places, including our Raising Hail tour. So we're going to be playing trivia, and they're fun trivia questions. You probably already know the answer to it, but it's an easy way to win Oklahoma City Thunder tickets to the game tonight. Hey, the snow has cleared enough. I think that you can hit the roads and make that game tonight. All right, we'll put the link in the comments section. Let's go ahead and go on to the rest of our forecast here. Taking a look at February, it does look a little bit cooler as we head up to the north through the rest of February. But other than that, it's pretty average by February standards. All of these gray areas in here indicate a very normal February ahead. And there's your forecast today. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. Make sure that you follow us on all forms of social media. We're broadcasting live right now on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We always go behind the scenes on TikTok, and we post all the time on our TikTok pages as well. Also follow us on Instagram. We're pretty active over there. And if you're interested in a hail, wind, or tornado map, go ahead and prepare for this spring season now. Get used to that app now, or go back and see the areas that got hit last year. Yeah, we have those maps from the last 10 to 15 years at HailTrace.com. So go ahead and give us a call. 855-334-4245, or email us at info@hailtrace.com to get set up with a subscription today. For more information, head to hailtrace.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and I'll see you back here same time, same place tomorrow.